Like my bro, it said Christ looked just like us. He don't look like this. You telling me Christ look like this? Let me see this. Does this look woolly? Does this look woolly to anybody?
Nope.
My sister. Does this look like woolly hair? You believe this is Christ? Can I show you that that's not Christ? Come here real quick. What's your name? That's right, brother. What's your name? Okay, give me a Revelation. Give me Revelation. Go read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelations of Jesus Christ.
So just to break this down, so word for word, it said this is the revelation of Jesus Christ. We all know who Jesus Christ is. Could somebody hold that up? Because that's not the image of Jesus Christ. But we gonna do counseling. We're gonna check what's there that fits the description of Christ, and we're gonna check off what doesn't fit the description, right? So this is the revelation, the revealing of what? Of who?
Of Jesus Christ.
The revealing of Jesus Christ, right? Go ahead.
Verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
So he's looking. He said he turned. He's physically looking, right? He sees 7 golden candlesticks. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And in the midst of 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Son of Man being Jesus Christ, whom the world knows as, right? That's Jesus Christ. We call him Yahweh Shai according to the scriptures. Go ahead.
Cloth with a garment down to the foot.
He said he's looking at one look that looks like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, right? He's seeing a physical appearance of Christ. And this is what Christ looked like. Go ahead.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle. Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
It said his head and his hairs, like this brother right here, woolly, said being white. This brother's beard, white like that. Woolly like this brother. Woolly like this brother. Woolly like this brother's beard. Like my bro. It said Christ looked just like us. He don't look like this. You telling me Christ look like this? Let me see this. Does this look woolly? Does this look woolly to anybody?
Nope.
My sister. Does this look like woolly hair? You believe this is Christ? Can I show you that that's not Christ? Come here real quick. What's your name? That's right, brother. What's your name? Your name's Aaron. I'll read it. So read that from the top.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelations of Jesus Christ.
So we're reading about the revelation of Jesus Christ, right? We're familiar with these images, right? The revealing of Christ.
Verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
So this is John, he's talking, right? He said he turned because he heard a voice behind him. Go ahead.
And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So he saw Christ. He was like, this looks like Christ. This looks like the Son of Man. We're going to see if it looks like this guy or if it looks like this brother right here. You know who Dick Gregory is, right? Go ahead.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
He had a long gird. He had a garment all the way down from the neck, shoulders, down to the foot. Go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
It said his head and his hairs were white like dog stringy hair. Read that again.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Were white like wool. He said, Son of Man. This is talking about Jesus Christ. White like wool, right? Go ahead.
As white as snow.
White as snow.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Next verse.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Right?
It said his feet like unto fine brass. So brass would probably kind of be like my color or this brother's color, right? Maybe a little lighter, but what?
As if they burn in a furnace.
As if they burn in a furnace. So like this brother's complexion, my brother here's complexion, that brother here's complexion. It didn't mention about him having no long, beautiful hair like this right here, all feminized and everything. It said this man looked, he had eyes as a flaming fire. If you look at him, do you think would you fear him? Would you fear this image?
You know the transatlantic slave trade, right? That's in the Bible. Our people coming here in what, early 1600s, 1619? That's recorded in the Bible that was going to happen if God's people did not obey God's commandments. Read that. Read 15 and jump to 68. We're going to jump. Just read 15.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
This is God talking to you. He's talking to these brothers, to our people, right? He said, if you don't listen to God's commandments, this is what's going to happen.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he said, if you don't obey God, these curses, it's not just some hocus pocus. A curse is a state of condition we are in. We're going to read one of them. Give me 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy.
This is a curse. One on top, you are going to serve your enemy. Didn't we do that for 400 years? And we still do to this day. Whose economy are we building? Is it ours? Who's on the dollar bill? Is it our faces? Continue.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
So if you're hungry, you got to go to what's that? Walgreens. That's a white man's name. You got to go to Smart and Final. You got to go to Whole Foods. Food for Less. Do we own any of those things? Those builders are predominantly in our community. But do we own any of those? No. We go there if we're hungry. We go there if we're thirsty. We go there. Go ahead, continue.
And in nakedness and in want of all things.
Anything you want, we got to go to them for it. Right? You want to go buy a house, you got to go to them. You want a car, you got to go to them. You want clothes, you got to go to them. Right? Even the hair stores. It's not all people that who you see in the hair stores? You see Asian people, right? In the hair stores, predominantly Asian people in the hair stores. You may have some of our people working in there, but who own it? They do, right? But we don't own it. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
He said, ye shall put a yoke of iron. You know what a yoke of iron is? What did we have around our necks when we was in slavery? What's the word for it? Chains, right? It's chains, shackles, right? He said that's what was going to happen to you if you didn't obey God's commandments, and it did happen. Because we rather believe other gods, and we read that all through Deuteronomy 20. I don't want to go all the way because I got to move it to the next brother. We had to go through all that because we accepted all this. We accepted to go and keep the Sabbath day on a Sunday. To this day, we are being judged. Right? Read verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So it said, the Lord shall bring you, our people, into Egypt again. Our people came out of Egypt once. That was during the time of Moses. You're familiar with that story, right? Let my people go. You're familiar with that cartoon. We came out of Egypt once. Did we come out in ships or we walked out of Egypt? We walked, right? So now, when you read that, go ahead, continue.
By the way whereof I speak unto thee.
So previous to that, he said, we're going to go back into Egypt with ships. It doesn't take ships to go back to Egypt if we walked out of Egypt. This Egypt is talking about land of bondage. When you read Exodus chapter 20, verse 2, it means bondage. He said you're going to go back into bondage in ships. The only place we came to, a whole race of people came to, was Americas, the Americas and some of the European countries. In ships. Right? Go ahead.
By the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And he said, there you gonna be sold to your enemies. What did they do here? They sold us on those auction blocks. Sold unto your enemies. This is in the Bible. This Bible was telling you, hey, if you don't get it right, this is what will happen to you. Right, go ahead.
Sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. And no man shall buy you.
No man is going to buy us out of this condition that we're in. Because it's been told to us that we had to get right. And that's the only thing that's going to get us out of it, is us coming together. knowing that we are the Israelites, coming to keep these commandments, right? If somebody asks you, what's your ethnicity? What you gonna tell them?
That's right. That's right, sister. Hey.